Hello everyone, welcome to Laravel blog project tutorial for beginner to advanced. So here you can see currently I am logged in my blog project, and here you can see the user logged in option, logout option. So in this tutorial what we will do is that we let the user add a post or upload a post so that they can show their post over here. So in order to do that, what we'll do is that when the user is logged in, then we'll show a option over here that add a post or create post over here. Okay, so for it, let's go back to our code and we'll just directly go to our resource, then views, then inside views we have home, and inside home we have header.blade.php. So over here, if we go down here, you can see we have the login condition that if route has login, we will show the user logout button, which is basically this button. Here you can see this button. This button will only show when the user is logged in. So what we will do is that after this li tag, we are going to add another li tag. So let me just copy this block list and we'll paste it after this li tag. So paste it over here and we are going to say over here create post. So right now if we save this, then if we now refresh our browser, here you can see after this button we have a option over here create post. So right now what we want is that if we click on this create post, it will take us to another page where we'll be able to upload a post to our table. So for it, let's go back, and first of all inside this href we are going to mention a URL. Let's say over here to second bracket, then we'll say URL to first bracket to single quotation, then let's say our URL name will be create underscore post. So let's just save this and let's go to our routes, then web.php, and inside the web.php we are going to create a route for that URL. So let me just copy this on, Control C and Control V. So over here the route will be get, and here instead of show post we are going to write this create post. Let me just copy it from here, then I'll paste it over here, and instead of admin controller we'll use home controller. Then here let's say the function name will be the same thing, which is create post. So let's save this and let's go to our home controller and create this function. So let's go to app, then http controller and home controller. So let's just directly go down, and over here we are going to say public function. It will be create post to first bracket, then we'll give to second bracket. So from here right now let's just return a view. We'll say return view to first bracket. Let's say we'll create a folder in file in the home folder. So let's say home dot create underscore post. So let's save this. So right now let's go to our home folder, which is this one, and inside this home folder let's create a new file. So we'll say over here create underscore post dot blade dot php. Let's save this, save. So let's just say over here simple thing. Let's say h on tag. Let's say user create post. Let's save this. So right now what will happen is that when someone click on this create post button, then it will call this URL, and this URL will call this function create underscore post, and our create underscore post will return us this view, which is this one. So right now let's go back to our browser, let's refresh here, and let's click on this button create post, and here you can see user create post. So right now what we'll do is that we'll keep the header section and the footer section in this create post page. Okay, so let's go back to our code again, and here we'll just directly go to homepage.blade.php, and from here we are just going to copy everything, Control A, Control C, and then we'll paste it inside the create post.blade.php. So Control V. So from here we'll only keep the footer section and only the header section. We'll just remove every other things. Let me just remove this. So let's just save this now, and right now if we just refresh our browser over here, you can see we have the header section and the footer section. So inside them over here we'll have some input field for title, description, for image, and a submit button. So let's go back to our code, and here let's say let's just write the form. So let's keep the form inside a div. So inside this div we'll have a form. let's say form, then inside this form we'll have another div, let's say div, then we'll say here level will be title, then we'll also have a input field for the title, so input type will be text and name will be title. So let me just copy this and paste it over here 3 times, 1 2 and 3. So after title we'll say over here description, and for description we will use text area. So the name will be, for the text area will be description. So here in this level we will say add image. So for image input type will be file, the name will be image. So this one will be the last one, this one will be the submit button. So let's say over here input type submit, and let's say here value will be add post submit. Okay, so right now let's save this and let's just refresh over here. So here you can see this is how it looks. So right now what we can do is that here you can see that this div closed over here. So right now if we remove this div for the home.header, then save this, then refresh here. Here you can see the design changed like this. We can keep this design if you want, or we can use a different design. I think this will look better for our web page, so let's just keep it like this. So let's go back to our code again and let's just add a title over here. So let's say over here h3, let's say here add post, save it again, refresh here again, and here you can see add post over here, which we cannot see properly. Okay, so that's fine. So right now what we'll do is that first of all we'll have everything in the center. So for it, here you can see we have a div for the form. So inside this div we are going to mention a class. Let's say the class name will be div underscore design dg. Let's save this and let's go inside the head section, and inside the head section we're going to mention a style. So here inside this style we are going to call the class name, which is div underscore dg. Then we'll give 2 second bracket, and let's say over here text align, it will be center. If you now save this, then refresh here, there you can see everything is in the center. So right now let's just fix the title first. So for title what we are going to do is that let's just mention over here a class. Let's say title underscore design dg. Save this, let's go in the style, and here let's say over here dot title underscore deg, then 2 second bracket, and let's say over here font size, it will be 30 px, font width, it will be bold, and we are going to say color will be white. Save this, then refresh over here, and here you can see add post. So right now let's write some design for the level. So let's go back to our code again, and here we use level for the level. So here inside the style we are going to mention the level, then 2 second bracket. So inside this level we are going to say over here display, it will be inline block, and we, let's say here width, it will be 200 px. Save, then refresh here. So here you can see, so let's change the color for the level. Let's say color, it will be white, and let's say here font size, it will be, let's say 18 px, and font width, it will be bold. Save, then refresh here again. There you can see the title, description and image properly. So right now let's add some padding, or I mean gap between the input field. So let's go back, and here we give every level and input field inside a div. So let's just mention a class over here. Let's say the class name will be field underscore design deg. Let's save this, and let me just copy this and I'll paste it inside every div over here, and here. Save this, and let's go at the top, and inside the style we're going to say dot field underscore dg, then 2 second bracket, and we're going to say over here padding, it will be 25 px. Save this, then refresh here, and there you can see there is some gap right now. So right now let's go and make a design for the add post over here, add post button. So for it, what we can do is let's go back to our code, and here input type submit value, let's mention class will be btn outline secondary. Save this, then refresh here, and there you can see it looks like this right now. We have the title, description, add image field, and we have the add post button right now. Okay, let's do one more thing, that is let's add some padding for the title so that there is some gap at the top and at the bottom. So let's go back, and here you can see title design. So let's say over here padding, it will be 30 px. Save this, then refresh here. There you can see right now there is some gap. Okay, so right now let's go back to our code editor and write some code so that we can upload those data to the post table. So over here, first of all, we'll just directly go to our form, and inside this form we're going to say over here action, then method will be post, and we're going to say enc type will be multipart slash form data, and we also need to use at the rate of csrf token for security reason in Laravel. So here inside the action we need to mention a URL. So let's say over here URL to first bracket to single quotation, let's say it will be URL name will be user underscore post. So let's save this, and let's go to our web.php and write a route for this. So let's go to our routes, then web.php. Let me just copy this, Control C, then Control V. So the route will be post, not get. So let's say here post, and the URL name I write over here is user underscore post. Copy. So we'll just paste it over here, and the function name will be the same thing. We'll use the home controller. So let's go to our home controller and create this function. Let's go to home controller, and let's say over here public function user post to first bracket then to second bracket. So inside this to first bracket, first of all we need to say over here request $request. So here we want to upload the data to the post table. So first of all, let's declare variable $post equal to new. We need to mention the model name, which is post. Model name is the table name basically. So after this, in order to store the data in the database table, what we need to do first, we'll mention this $post, this arrow sign. Here you can see this $post is this one, and here we are going to this arrow sign. So first of all, we want to upload the title. So here in the database table for post table, here you can see title is written over here like this, title. So here we'll say title. So this one will come from the database table. So here we'll say over here equal, then we'll mention this $request. So we'll say here $request, this arrow sign, and here we're going to mention this title. Here you can see name equal to title. So we'll just mention it over here. So after title, we'll get the description. So let's just paste this over here, and we'll say over here description. So after description, we have the image field over here. So in order to get the image, it's a little bit different as I showed you in the previous tutorial. So first of all, let's say declare variable. Let's say here image equal to, we'll request the image $request arrow sign image. Here you can see this image will come from here. Okay, and here this is just a variable. So if there is an image, so we need to give a if condition, if $image. So if there is an image, only then we'll upload an image in the database table. So right now here we are going to say $image name equal to, we'll mention a time function. We'll say over here time dot, we'll give two single quotation, and inside the single quotation we'll give a dot, and again single quotation, then we'll mention this $image variable over here. Then this arrow sign will say over here get client original extension to first bracket like this. Let me just make it smaller. So here you can see we need to write this. So it will just rename the image using the time function. So every image in our database table will have a different name because of this time function. So after this, we'll say over here $request, this arrow sign image. again this arrow sign, move. So basically we'll store the image in the public folder. So here we need to mention the folder name, and our folder name for the image we already saved it as in the public folder, saved it as post image. So here we're going to say over here post image, then we'll give a comma over here, and the name for storing the image will be image name, which will be this one. So after this we can just store the image name in the database file, so in the database table. So we'll say over here dollar post this arrow sign image equal to, we'll say this image name. Let me just copy this and paste it over here. So this image will come from the database table, which is this one. Okay, so after this what we can do is that we can just say over here dollar post this arrow sign save. So once we just write this, we will be able to upload the title, description and the image. And after storing the image, we want to return to the same view. We'll say over here return redirect back. So let's just save this for now, and let's just refresh over here, and let's say over here user test, description will be user test2, and let's just add a random image. Let's just choose this image, sweet alert, click open and click add post. Here you can see it reloaded and the data should be added to our database table. So right now if we just refresh our database table, here you can see we have been able to data. Here you can see user test2, the image, and here you can see name, user ID, post status, everything is null over here. So we also need to upload those data as well. So where can we get the name, user ID, post status and user type? So we can get those data because we are right now as a logged in user, and a logged in user has a name, email and ID, and also the user type over here. So we can get those from the user table. So whoever user is logged in will get that logged in user data and store it whenever that user tried to post anything over here. So we'll basically get the logged in user name, user type and user ID from the user table. Okay, so let's go back to our code, and here you can see dollar post equal to new post. So here we'll just declare first a variable, let's say dollar user equal to auth to first bracket, then this arrow sign, we are going to mention the table name, which is user. So what this will do is that this line will help us to get the logged in user data and store it in this dollar user variable. So here if we just say over here dollar user ID equal to, if we just say over here dollar user this arrow sign ID, then we'll be able to get the logged in user ID and store it in this variable. So basically here we are getting the logged in user and storing the logged in user value over here in this user variable, and here we are just mentioning that user variable with the ID. So basically it will get that logged in user ID and store it in this variable. So basically this ID data will come from the user table from here. Okay, here you can see ID, so the ID will come from here. So after ID we can get the username and also the user type over here you can see. So for it here we are going to say again dollar user name equal to, let me just say over here dollar user this arrow sign name, and this name will come from the database table. After this let me just copy this, then paste it here. After this we have user type, and here we'll say user type. Let me just show you in the database table again so that you don't get confused. Here you can see this user type will come from the database table from here. Here you can see user type. Okay, and here you can also see the name. So what we are going to do is that we have the logged in user ID, name and user type. So right now we can just upload that data in the post table over here in the name, user ID and user type. So let's go back, and here after this description we'll say over here dollar post this arrow sign, and let's say here user underscore ID equal to, and here you can see user underscore id. This will come from the post table. Here you can see post table, and here you can see the user underscore id. So basically this user underscore id is this one. Okay, so this user underscore id equal to will be this one, user id. Copy and paste it over here. So after user id we'll get the user name. So let me just copy this, paste it over here. We'll say over here name. I think in the database table I write over here name. Okay, only name over here in the post table. So we'll say here name equal to, it will be username p, and so after username we have user type. So we'll say over here dollar post, this arrow sign, user type equal to this one, user type. Copy and paste. So we can just save this, but there is one more data in the table, and that is post status. So whenever the admin upload a post, it will be by default active, but when the user upload a post, it will stay pending at the beginning, but when the admin approves, then that post status will change to active. Okay, so here what we are going to do is that here we are going to say dollar post, this arrow sign, we say over here post underscore status equal to, I made a spelling mistake over here because in the database table over here I also made a spelling mistake, that's why. So here the post status, it will be pending at the beginning. We'll just say over here pending. So right now I hope you are clear. I tried to explain this as much as possible, but if you still have any question, you can always let me know in the comment section. I hope you find this tutorial easy. So right now if we save this, then if we now refresh here and let's try to add a post, let's say this is a user post. Let's say in the description, this is a description added by user. Let's add an image over here, another random image from here. Click open, then click add post. It's reloaded and the data is uploaded. So right now if we just refresh over here, so here you can see this is a user post, this is a description added by user. Let me just zoom in. Here you can see image, and here you can see user id, and post status is pending over here. Post status is pending, user type is user, and we can also get the name, which is user. So we are able to get every data. And let me just show you one more thing, and that is whenever we are not logged in, we will still be able to come to this page. So right now let's just log out from here, and here if I just write the URL name which is create post, copy and paste it over here, and here you can see we are not logged in, but we still are able to come to this page. So for that case what we can do is that we can use middleware. So where can we find the middleware? And that is here you can see middleware auth over here. So we can just add this. So let me just copy this from here, Control C, or you can just copy it from here as well. We'll just copy this line, Control C, and let me just directly go down, and over here we are going to add middleware auth. So what it will do is that we are not logged in and we try to go to this page, then it will send the user to the login page. So right now let's save this, and here you can see we are not logged in, and if we now refresh here you can see it send us to the login page. So let's also do the same for this user underscore post as well. Let me just copy this and paste it over here. So let's save this, and let's just log in as a user. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 login, and right now let's go to the home page. Let's go to home page, and here if you go down here you can see the post over here. Okay, there is some design needs to be changed, but that's fine. So here you can see that we can see the post over here that we just uploaded, but here you can see that the post data is pending and one of them is null. So let's just delete this one, the null one. So you can see the post data is pending. So we'll only show the post when the post status is active. So this shouldn't be shown over here. Let me just refresh. So this shouldn't be shown on over here. This will only show when the poster is active. So we'll do this part after like three video later. What we'll do is that we'll let the admin like approve the post, and when the admin approve the post, only then the image will be shown over here. Okay, so this is all about this tutorial. I hope you find this tutorial easy. You can always let me know in the comment section if you find anything difficult, and if you face any problem and manage to solve it by yourself, then make sure to write that down in the comment section. This may help some other people. So thanks in for watching, and if you want more tutorial like this, then make sure to subscribe this channel. I will also appreciate that. See you in the future tutorial.